There's that precious moment when it all comes together. It just crystallizes like a sphere. And you don't want to say anything. Because to say something would subtly disturb the perfection. There's a breeze, and I don't even want the scent of my robust physique to go downwind and disturb this gentleman. I'm sniffing him, not because I'm some pervert who loves to revel in the odor of another, but I'm sniffing him because there's an exquisite aroma that my Jacobson's organ is picking up. Now, the Jacobson's organ is just a patch of nerve endings in the oral cavity, postulated by this guy named Jacobson. He published on the Jacobson's organ in about 1805. At the very least, it picks up the chemical cocktail we know as pheromones. But it also may be responsible for our sense of hunch and paranormal capacities, just a sense of picking up information that our conscious mind is not aware of, and yet pops into our conscious mind, and there it is. Well, really, there's an organ, or so it's postulated, in our oral cavity that's picking up signals on a chemical, hormonal, pheromonal level. And we get these intuitions. So I'm sitting there, standing there, really, I'm on my bike, at a street corner, looking at a gentleman who's about to cross the street in front of me. He's got a backpack on, it's red. And he's got, like, work Crocs. Rubber soles for working something very menial, like perhaps, stocking things in a store or working on the line in a kitchen for a restaurant. There's an insouciance about him, a kind of careless indifference and innocence about him. And I'm picking up this aroma of holiness that's wafting into me. Like Jacobson's organ is just going beep, 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 beep. And I want to say something to him, but I'm just a stranger on my bike. I'm sweaty and I smell disgusting. And the light is about to change. We're about to get the walk signal. I can't say anything, but I saw it. I read his pheromones, and I was initiated into a future vision of humanity. He apparently is a code carrier. He is the codex of something coming down the line. And I must be attuned to it with my Jacobson's organ, zeroing in on this exquisite frequency. Based on outward appearance, he's not much. Pretty emasculated. He's got a big belly, and probably drinks a lot of beer when he's not working, and sits in front of the TV and props his legs up on the ottoman. And his feet smell like vinegar. He eats Lay's chips with his right hand, and he's got Bud Light in his left hand, the ones with the twist off top. So how is it that this man is carrying a testament like the Ark of a Covenant? Right? This man, sitting there, a couch potato, a veritable slob. Mesmerized by his TV. He even is so mesmerized, captivated. He sets an alarm to startle him awake so that he can go to work and not get fired. Because otherwise, he'd never wake up. He'd just be absorbed in the boob tube, in Netflix, in Hulu, in Showtime, in Amazon Prime. You know how he became the codex for the future? Because he got a total porous membrane. He has no immune defense against the agenda saturating his cells. The electromagnetic saturation. He literally becomes the conveyor, the Nostradamus of tomorrow. He doesn't know that. He's got one of those little antibacterial on the back of his backpack. What's it called? You know the ones. People who just walk around and they can't stand the possibility that some microbial entity is going to assail them and destroy them. Look at these little things that hang off their backpack, and then they pop it open and they spray it on their hands, and then they go like this. And at that point, it's like they're scheming. The devils. Well, this innocent soul, this organic robot, wasn't scheming per se when he was doing this. He was actually paranoid. Paranoia means to have a mind beside your regular mind. He's about to cross the street. I hope he doesn't get hit. He's carrying the future. And he walks kind of like this. And he waddles across the street. And I'm thinking he's probably not going to make it. But that's the thing. No car is going to run him over. He's carrying the future. Now, I don't know if the Jacobson organ is activated in all the cars that are passing or would pass him. They all just stop. Whole line. Hundreds of cars. Because this is how slowly he walks. There's a traffic jam. This is how slowly he walks. He doesn't want to get to the other side of the street. Because that's where the blossoming occurs. That's where the future descends and incarnates. He knows it on a molecular level. He knows it on a cellular level. He doesn't want to get there. He doesn't want to arrive at the end of the crosswalk. So what I'm saying is, even though he appears to be walking like this, and he's really walking in place, he's not. See, at the most fundamental level, our body knows the poison. But then that poison overtakes it, and then streams up into the mind, and we go about our slavery day. We show up and we clock in, and we're there. And we've gone from the TV to the workplace. The momentum is actually the succession of still frames of evil. The momentum is the succession of still frames of evil. Screenshots of despair. The body doesn't want to do it. The body doesn't want to cross the street. And I am so enamored with the scent of this benevolent being carrying the future that I just slow down. It's kind of a miracle because I can't even pedal, and yet my bike is not falling over. I'm not even moving, and I'm still perpendicular to the ground. I look back and the cars are just stretched out for miles. Nobody wants this to come to fulfillment. Nobody. No. Body. There's a resistance in the physiology, a resistance, a protest. No body wants the future that's unrolling and unraveling from the TV screen. I can sense it with my Jacobson's organ. I'm starting to pick up on the reluctance and the absolute desolation in that traffic jam, and it's got nothing to do with the fact that they're trying to get somewhere and they've been stopped. It's not that. They're all picking up on this organic robot who's now frozen in place like a Buddha. Total statue of omniscience. His body has caught up with the deception that's taken his body prisoner. And now his body and this deception, this tomorrow that he got from the TV, are at war. And that's why he can't move. But the deception, the agenda, and the body are just like this. And so, the way it contorts him is that it is like a laundry machine. But not the laundry machine that goes like this. It's like this, a cyclotron. And so the man, with his antibacterial, he's just going around in circles now. Like a planet, going around in circles. He can't go forward, he can't go back. And as a result, he entrains the attention of the entire traffic jam. And they start to swirl with him. Can you feel that swirl? That electromagnetic whirlpool like galactic arms swirling around the center. So you see, this man is much more than he knows himself to be. He has a kind of Christological demeanor, as if he were a savior. But he's not. What's really happening for him is something that can happen for all of us. If you just tap into that oral cavity, that Jacobson's organ, while you're looking at your computer screen, your smart screen, your TV, and you can smell in a hunch that you are being ushered across the crosswalk to your damnation, to doom, and you don't want it. Your body resists. Your body throws a tantrum and gets you to spin in circles in that crosswalk. And you're going to take in everyone around you because they want to be there with you. They want to be their own laundry machine, back and forth, back and forth, back and circular, 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 circular. Don't give up hope. Watch that man in the crosswalk. See what he's like. See him just wash his hands. He's paranoid. He feels like he's going to die, but it's not because of some microorganism. It's because if he gets to the end of that crosswalk, his body will break down. So he may have avoided being sideswiped by dozens of cars, hundreds of them, really. Because you can imagine at some point, they just start swirling by him, whisking by him like a tornado. Is he going to get hit and die? No. He's invulnerable as long as he stays there and lets his biology stage the proper insurrection against the agenda that's colonizing him top down, that starts from the screen and emanates outward and overtakes him, sticks its seed down his throat. That's why he's paranoid. That's why he's always washing his hands. Because he's getting filthy every time he sits down on his couch and props his legs up with his Crocs and his chips and his beer, and he lets that face hugger come out of the TV, plant its seed down his esophagus into his body mind. He's filthy with it. He wants to be free. So he just goes like this. If you see a man in the street going like this, he's unable to cross. He's unable to be free from this motion, and you see the cars zipping by him. Have mercy on him. Have mercy on yourself. Because he's a lot more precocious and prescient than you can imagine. He's out there for your salvation. He's an organic robot who doesn't know the way home. But as long as he doesn't get to the other end of the street, we'll be okay.